Okay, hi everyone. So I'm going to try to do this video in just one take and not in one long part and then just a short video. Okay. All right. So then the other online sources I'm going to show you is social abstract social index. And I think I'm going to include another one. So you're going to go to S and you're going to scroll down. Right. And you can see like a Sage business case. You could also look for books here for this class or any other class. Right. But I just want to focus on the article research and trying to find what I'm looking for. Social science citation. I think it's this one. Social sciences full text, an interdisciplinary resource for finding scholarly articles in the social sciences from anthropology and through sociology. I think, yeah, this is the one. And then I'll do social, not social services abstracts, social index and social abstracts, right? Because these are what I used when I was an undergrad at UCSB and also a grad student at CSUN and UCSB. Here, let me go to this one first. Okay, so this is the social sciences full text, right? And this is provided by Invesco, or EBSCO, right? Which I think, if I remember correctly, is an international database. Right. So then here you have like this the search boxes, and then the filters. All right, like full text, peer reviewed. How many years back, or if you want a specific time frame, you could set that as well. Sorry, it's my cat again. Right, that you hear like meowing in the background. And then you could select like academic journal, conference proceeding, periodical, review, or trade publication. And the type of article that you want to look for goes from all the way from an abstract, like a general description of what the research is, to an article, either autobiography, all the way down to video recording reviews and whatnot. Okay. And then if and this is like a big if you do have like the ISSN number, you can find the particular article. But if you don't, you don't really need to worry about that. And sometimes you don't really need to worry about this. So I'm just going to do a search, not doing anything to this, and see what we get in terms of like globalization and immigration. So I'm just going to stay with that thing just to remain consistent. Globalization and you'll notice that you should notice that the articles that you find on EBSCO, or this particular online database, will result in different articles, which is perfectly fine, right? Okay, so then once I put immigrate globalization immigration, just hit search, and then we'll see what we get. All right. So right now there are 596 articles, right, or sources that they found. And you could do like show 10 if you want to do more to look at. And you also could do relevancy. So I'll just leave it the relevance. But if you want, you could play with the newest to the oldest, but I'll just leave it at relevance. And just sort of like start going through. So let's say like globalization, immigration, and changing social relations in cities, right? Uh, I don't even know that language. Turkish, if but don't quote me on that. Okay, marching to the tune of colonization, globalization, immigration, and the Ghanaian diaspora. Um, that might be something. Globalization, social justice, and social welfare. This would be an interesting article to read because of what most people in this country think, that are a lot of undocumented immigrants who are on social services, and technically they're not. All right, globalization, immigration, and the Louisian elastic labor in pre-World War II Southeast Asia. I don't even know what they mean by Louisian. All right, so excuse me. All right, and then sorry, and then it also tells you what type of article it is. So it's peer reviewed in an academic journal. You're right. Yeah, I forgot to mention this at the top. Okay. Let's see, globalization, immigration, cross national comparison, transition in older parent adult child relation Chinese immigrant families. Is migration at older age associated with poor psychological well being? Let's see, Europe's winter of discontent, political turmoil in European Union. This is something else. That's German politics. Environment and American higher education, the rise, social forces, all right, globalization, immigration, sorry, global commerce, immigration, and diversity, New York story. Excuse me. What is a city but its people, commentary on migration and peripheral urbanization? All right, let's just say that we want to look at immigration and its impact on cities in the United States, just as an example. All right. So just like we did you can look for what type of source that they have. So they might have PDF and they have one online. So let's check this out. So you're gonna click on this. All right. And here's the article. So then here you can download it if you like. Right. But before you could sort of read the title. Let's see, do they have an abstract? Okay, here's the abstract. All right. So you have to like just scroll down. Oh, and then I'll talk about this in a little bit right after this. All right, so the abstract for this particular article is this commentary centers on themes of conquest, globalization, and inequality and argues that the article migration and peripheral urbanization, the case of a metropolitan zone of the Valley of Mexico, can be understood as suggesting prescriptions for forward looking socioeconomic and migration policy. The article's author focuses on the effects of neoliberalism on the metropolitan zone, explaining how globalization has dismantled domestic markets in the global south and triggered both internal and cross border migration, which is very important to understand. And I'll explain what that means in a moment. In the phenomenon the authors dub peripheral urbanization, poor people now live in the periphery of the city, having been priced out of the city center. Assuming a shared commitment to reversing the effects of conquest and equalizing wealth, the author's analysis supports the removal of morality and membership theory from discourse regarding border crossings and migration. In addition, the authors can be understood as demonstrating that neoliberal trickle-down economics has been a failure. So that's the abstract from the author. All right, and then here's like the copyright issues. Here's like more information about the author. University of Miami School of Law, Coral Gables, Florida. Full text word count, 2,000 words. Right, so I think it's like a 15 or 20-page paper or essay. Don't see it. Oh, here it is. From page 7. Oh, here, page 2,439 to 2,445. All right. So let's say that this is something that would help us understand about effects of globalization, immigration, and the city. So you have a choice of doing the full text or the metadata only. So I would do the PDF and then download. All right. And then it'll pretty much upload it. And then you just click on it and then I'll open it. And here's the article. Oh, so yeah, 7, 8 pages. All right. Um, uh, yeah, so here's the abstract. Here's the article's history, meaning when it was published, right? Received and finally accepted. And then this, I like when articles do this because it gives you, it gives you actual keywords to look for in the context of the article. And here's the author and more information of the publishing company. So you just sort of go through this and read it, right? Annotate it, take your notes, and that's all you need to do. Now, I'm going to show you something else because not all of them are going to have like an article associated with it. So I'm going to show you what you're going to do in that case if that situation happens. And I think this is the one that's just um uh no, sorry. This one. I think this is just the one that is not a PDF accessible. It says access options. You can find it at Dominguez Hills, but for whatever reason, when I tried doing this earlier, oh, now it's working because before it wouldn't show me anything. All right, so here is like where you could probably find it on Dominguez Hills. All right, and then what it also does, it'll show you other articles that are somewhat related to the concept. Sorry, the topic. All right. And you could click it here and see if you could find it on JSTOR, right? So then just click. Oh, I think this is the page that I had issues with earlier. Yeah, still having issues. Okay, so if this doesn't work for you, what you need to do is this. All right, so just go to the top of the page and highlight and copy. And then you're going to go to JSTOR. All right, so I'm just going to go to the beginning of their page, and then you're going to paste what you found, and then hit search, and then it should be the first results. And here it is: globalization, immigration, and changing social relations in U.S. cities. So this is by Galinda Laws. So you're going to click on that. All right, and again, here's the information of the article, the journal that it was published in. If you want to know more about the journal, you could read it here. And it's always good to know what the journal's focus is. So, like, if you ever have future research and you're doing it on a related topic, at least you'll have a list of serials or journals to be able to refer to. And then here's the abstract. So then the abstract reads: the current process of globalization with deep historical roots has had a significant impact on social problems in the US cities. My focus is the links between globalization, immigration, and urban social relations. So she's telling you what her topic is and what her objective is going to be, right? At the heart of the linkage is the economic restructuring across societies and in the US's city that has potent social consequences for immigrant populations. Such people induced to migrate by changing economic circumstances find growing ghettoization, isolation, and cultural antipathies in their new settings. In the new globality, immigrant populations are commonly fingered as the other, and the invading and ominous people threatened time tested social norms and economic principles. So this could be a very relevant article, and especially what's happening with the current administration and oh, I can't remember the song, um, and and it's a rap song, and I think it's in Spanish, and there's a line in there where the term immigrant now means is like a dirty word or is a bad word, right? And an example of that was when the Trump administration, after Trump was inaugurated, and I think it was on the ICE web page, they actually removed the phrase "a nation of immigrants," right? Just to try to erase the general understanding of the United States. Okay, and then here again, you could look to see um, what information is on page 94, I think. Yeah, and then you could read: more than 18 million foreign-born individuals lived in metropolitan areas in 1990, while only 1.3 million resided in non-metropolitan areas, and that would be like in rural areas or suburban areas, right? And do the same thing that you would do when I mentioned earlier. And then here are some related texts and journals. So it's not only like articles within the text, I mean, the articles within the journal, but then sometimes JSTOR will show you other journal articles from other publications, which is good. All right, so it's not necessarily haphazard; it just depends on the source that you click. So then this is how you would look for articles going back to here, the social sciences full text. All right. So if you see one like this, it'll have an article. But if you see something like this, more than likely it won't necessarily have provide you access to the article in this particular online database. But like I just showed you, you can go to JSTOR and be able to find it that way. All right. So hopefully this makes sense. And what I'm going to do for the next video, I'll probably do both social, wait, let me, sorry, I don't forget, a social index as well as sociological abstracts in one video. Okay. So I'll stop the video here and I'll proceed to the next installment.